Too black, too strong. Too black, too strong.
I won't deny it. I'm a straight rider. You don't wanna fuck with me.
Any character approach me, I let the streets get the best of me. Infamy, my destiny. Getting paid for my vocal. Here is something you can't understand.
I could just kill a man.
Hear it. So now I'm setting up the ultimate drive-by. And when you hear this shit, it make the world say, damn. I wanna kill Slam. Give me that bass and don't try to run up. I hope he wears vest too, and his best blue. Going up against the Zulu. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Hit me.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe.
Casino on the ass, spotted her more than once. Ass so fat that you can see it from the front. You fuck off my money, don't cop no sleep. Cause I'm the wrong nigga to fuck with. I'm the boss of all boss. 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 I'm the boss of all boss.
What's good, everybody? This is your boy Daniel Tye, D-Tye90, also known as the student of hip hop. Here today with the Falsetto Hip Hop Show on your favorite day, Ratchet Wednesdays. And you know what that means? I got my girl Amanda here with me. Amanda, say hello to the people.
Hello, people. This is Amanda. You can find me on Instagram, Strawberries Are Good, or Twitter, Sberries Are Good.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Y'all know the name of the game. Well, she's here to help me answer some very important questions today. Some shit I could not answer by myself, and I needed a woman's touch to handle. So we won't even pussyfoot around. Get it? Pun. Anyways.
Ha!
First question is Beyoncé this generation's Michael Jackson? The 2000s Michael Jackson. The Michael Jackson for the kids that are in high school and college now. The kids that snort condoms in their nose and do the cinnamon challenge. Is she the Michael Jackson for these kids?
Oh, gosh. The Cinnamon Challenge? Wasn't that when we were in high school?
Yeah, she's our Michael Jackson.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Okay, sorry.
Us and the condom snorting kids.
Those kids need help.
Okay, so there's a lot of different elements that go into this. There's record sales, stage presence, performance, overall impact. And I don't know who has a bigger overall impact in music right now other than Beyoncé. Because the fact of the matter is there's a lot of places you can go, and Jay-Z is known as Beyonce's husband. When Beyonce gets introduced at Coachella, it's not, oh my God, this is Jay-Z. It's, hey, Jay, get on stage. Come perform this song with me. One of my many hit songs. And Jay-Z is an icon, a legend, a billionaire, all from hip-hop. The first hip-hop artist to be in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. He also won recently a Peabody Award for his Khalif Browder story. But who won a Peabody Award before him? Beyoncé for Lemonade. So then I ask, if she's not, if we run with the notion that she's not the Michael Jackson of this generation, what does she need to accomplish?
I don't think necessarily it's something she needs to accomplish. It's just how big of an impact he was in his time is completely different. I guess she's kind of opened up a lot of opportunities for female artists, which I guess for Michael Jackson is more like as a male, like all the performers out there were male. And so now it's kind of like with Beyonce, she made such a huge platform for female artists. So I think in that sense, she has accomplished a lot in the same, I guess it's kind of hard to compare the two because of the different times that we're in, that it's It's not that she's the Michael Jackson of our time. She's
Bigger.
in a way.
Well, it's relative. So that's why we say generation, because you're automatically going to be bigger. The same way movies come out now. If a movie comes out now, like say Black Panther is going to probably ultimately be the highest selling movie of all time. But to be fair, a movie like Titanic, a movie cost like $1 to go see a movie back then. Now a movie costs anywhere from like 10 to 15, and in some places $20 to see a movie. And I think even when you start to take into inflation, Black Panther will still eat that shit up. But you kind of understand what I'm saying, where like when Avatar came out, Avatar never sold as many tickets as Titanic, but it made more money than Titanic. I don't even know. I'm not 100% sure if Beyonce's made as much money as Michael Jackson. Possibly. I don't know for sure.
Possibly, yeah. I'm not sure too. Also, with your like example with Avatar, that also is a movie that's like never been done before. It was like the first of its time, which is kind of what I'm saying is like Beyonce's completely different artist on top, just because since she's a woman, like for a woman, she's accomplished a lot, not only as an artist, but being a woman. Like it just kind of inflates all that she's done.
Yeah, she performed pregnant.
Yes.
No, I don't know. And from a musical aspect, she's done. I don't want to say everything because there's always more you could do, but she's done more than pretty much any other artist will do in their lifetime, short of someone like Michael Jackson or like a Whitney Houston or something like that. But I think an important aspect of it as well is what Beyonce's been able to accomplish as a family as well. Obviously, with Michael Jackson, you had the Jackson 5, and that was it had a family aspect to it as well. But Beyonce, she's going on tour with Jay-Z. This is the second time to do it. It's not the first time. And this is going to be, I believe, a world tour, an arena tour, where they're selling out same stadiums as like bands like Metallica sell out. Like here in Phoenix, Metallica sells out a football stadium. Whereas when Jay-Z came, he sold out a basketball stadium, just for kind of a scale comparison. And I don't know why it's resonated with me, but I just kind of really found that amazing, being able to tour the world with your husband and your 3 kids.
So are you just kind of saying she's better than Michael Jackson? Is that where you're getting at?
No, it's not even just a better. It's just an accomplishment that amazes me. And Michael Jackson had his own accomplishments that were amazing as well. I don't think there's yet to been, even with the amazing albums that Beyonce has, I don't think that there's been an album from any artist, regardless of genre, that is eclipsed Thriller.
No. I agree.
And honest, I can't even casually listen to Thriller. I don't know. I can't listen to the Thriller song. When I was young and I first started going on YouTube and I listened to Thriller song, like that song was really cool. And then a few years later, it's like, okay, I don't want to listen to Thriller.
What's wrong with Thriller?
No.
You just throw it on and kind of like, it's a good one. The other thing is they're both just legends in general. Even if you're a fan of either one, or if you're not a fan of either one, they're legends, no matter what.
Icons.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But it's just kind of for a sake of argument. If you would have asked me this question probably like 2 months ago, I probably would have told you Bruno Mars is the closest that we have. But I just kind of just blanked out, and it's easy it's because I don't regularly listen to Beyonce, it's easy for me to forget. Whereas with the last Bruno Mars album, I've more regularly listened to Bruno Mars. So it was just sort of top of mind. But if I put him in comparison, Beyonce, my personal opinion, dwarfs Bruno Mars in terms of magnitude, status. I mean, Beyonce is a megastar.
Beyonce is definitely a household name
in the world.
Yeah.
In the world, like you could go to like pretty much any country in Europe, dozens of countries in Africa, Asia, and they know who Beyonce.
Everyone knows Beyonce, yes.
Yeah, whereas Bruno Mars is a household name here and probably some European countries, where I think he's from Hawaii and such like that.
Hawaii's in the United States.
Whatever. Not physically in the United States.
That is a part of us.
All right, so give me your final vote. Is Beyonce this generation's Michael Jackson?
I just don't like. I
Pick.
don't want. I know it's so hard. Like, I want to say no only because I think it's just so different. I think it's disrespectful to Michael to say someone's better than him when he was such a big for his time that he was in. He accomplished so much for that time. Are
you disrespecting your queen?
That I'm also very problematic when it comes to Beyonce.
Queen B? You're disrespecting Queen B? Baychella?
Oh my gosh. That's the thing. Like, you can't... I'm not disrespecting her, because the other thing is she knows Michael, how big of a legend Michael Jackson is. Like, she's gotten her inspiration from him. So how can you say she's even better than someone who inspired her?
I'm going off of the way that people older than me, so like my mom and dad, the way they speak of Michael Jackson, I feel that's how people this generation speak of Beyonce.
I get that. Yeah, because there's also a lot of people that even
the way I came at you about Beyonce and you disrespecting the Queen, before all the bullshit and the fuckery that they threw at him about the children, I'm sure people would have spoke to you the exact same way if you spoke ill of Michael Jackson.
I get that.
Okay. So no.
It's still no to me, sorry.
Okay, well, nobody cares what you think.
Wow, thanks. Okay, bye. I'm gonna leave.
I'm voting yes, Beyonce is this generation's Michael Jackson and is going to excel past Michael Jackson because Beyonce is doing all the same shit with 3 kids that are for sure hers. Now I ask the question. One more for you. Do you care who writes your favorite music?
Do I care who writes it?
Yeah.
I guess no. I mean, I don't know. I think it's just sad that a lot of music writers don't get the credit. Like, even though definitely they see it in their bank accounts and stuff, you don't know a lot of whose songwriters these are. Or I know, like, as an example, it's definitely not hip-hop related, but I forgot her name. I just forgot her name, but she writes, I don't know how many pop songs, and one of the biggest people that she wrote for was Katy Perry, and when she finally put out an album, this songwriter, I forgot her name, she, it didn't do as well, and Katy Perry kind of threw shade at her, saying like, oh, this new artist, when this girl was literally the reason she had so many hits.
Well, I think that's sort of a different issue because obviously that's not always the case because SZA wrote for Rihanna, and then SZA album comes out, and SZA is like probably next to Beyonce is probably the hottest female artist, regardless of genre right now. And her music was received well, and kind of watching some of the stuff that's happened with Drake, where he's been accused of having people write for him. And I don't know necessarily if he's been written for, but there's definitely been like some tweaks, which is fine. but the music just sounds better when he sings it or raps it opposed to somebody else does. So how are you supposed to be mad at that? If people don't want to hear you, people don't want to hear you. As much as I love Party Next Door, I don't necessarily always want to hear him. He doesn't sing very well. But I bring this up because one of my favorite rappers who's consistently accused of not writing her own music, Cardi B. Cardi B received a cosign today from the man that I voted for last year. Was it last year? Last year. Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders was being interviewed, I think, by GQ, or it was her Nardwuar interview. I don't remember specifically. But she was asked about some of her interests, and apparently some of her interests are is quote unquote American history. And she spoke about Franklin D. Roosevelt and him doing the New Deal and putting together Social Security. That's basically what it was she said he's a smart guy. The nigga's smart because he came up with Social Security and old people got to like live comfortably. So then Bernie Sanders jumped to try and get some publicity for himself. And he said, Cardi B is right. If we really are going to make America great, we need to strengthen the Social Security so that seniors are able to retire with the dignity they deserve. Now, do you think it's out of line for, I'll just be frank, some old white motherfuckers who want to get young people to vote for them to give praise to the hottest artist in the game right now? Is that cool? Is that out of line?
I don't think it's out of line. I mean, it's happened forever. As they have such a huge platform, artists and celebrities, that if they're saying something that another, like, a politician agrees with, they're definitely going to get on board and be like, hey, and like shout them out. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just the thing is if he were to say something bad about her in the past, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm going to jump on board. She's a great person. She knows what she's talking about, when he like maybe called her music trash before. I think that's not cool if they're going to like make fun of their music or anything. But as far as I know, Bernie Sanders hasn't like said anything wrong about Cardi B. So the fact that he's just like, oh, I agree with this, like, good job, Cardi, I don't think it's bad.
You don't think it's gimmicky?
I mean, what kind of publicity isn't gimmicky?
That's fair. I mean, I guess there's always, I guess it feels like some publicity is earned and then some is sort of just kind of floating along. Like, in the terms of Snoop Dogg, I feel like Snoop Dogg earned his publicity. Because Snoop Dogg got a lot of publicity, a lot of promo when he criticized Donald Trump repeatedly. He had the song Lavender off his album that came out last year, where he had a clown, and the clown looked like Donald Trump. And they said he was shooting the clown. I'll give a little context to the video. So in the video, all the people are clowns. So like in The Simpsons, where everybody's yellow.
Yeah.
In his music video, everybody's clowns. So there just so happened to be someone in the video that looked like Donald Trump, which is why it looked like Donald Trump was a clown, because everybody looked like a clown in the music video. So that was one thing that they said about it that they didn't tell you. The second thing was it said that he shot Donald Trump, was what they said happened in the music video. Well, there was a gun, but when the gun was fired, the little string popped out that said bang on it. And it's like, and the headline read something to the magnitude of Snoop Dogg has Trump clown, and Snoop Dogg kills Trump clown in new music video. And it's like, you removed the entire context of that. But I feel like that was more so just him speaking, and because he talked about he did like Make America Crip again, and he had some
Blue hats.
yeah, and he had a lot of other visuals that went along with him insulting Trump, but the way he incorporated it with his own sort of swagger, it felt more genuine. It felt like there was effort put into it. It didn't feel gimmicky. It felt like he was genuinely telling us, fuck Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Or do you still think that's gimmicky?
It's still kind of gimmicky.
How?
Like, obviously, you know you're gonna rile people up with this topic. Like, he's our president, and so it's not like people aren't gonna pay attention, and it's not gonna get out there. It's still kind of gimmicky because you're throwing the name in there.
So is it gimmicky just to talk shit about Donald Trump?
Yeah, because you know you're gonna get people. That's why.
So then where's the line between... It's sort of like the line between being a hater and just giving your own opinion, isn't it? It's a thin line.
It is a thin line.
So where does it... So where does... What differentiates?
I don't think he's being a hater.
Is he not just giving his own opinion?
He's just giving his own opinion. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Well, that's not gimmicky then.
it's still because what's gimmicky is throwing the names out there.
I mean, maybe in the beginning, but then is it still gimmicky when he insults Donald Trump and then Donald Trump insults him back and then he responds?
I guess that's just a conversation.
I don't know anybody who has genuine conversations with Donald Trump other than Russians.
Did it? I think, was it you that sent me an article or something that Donald Trump doesn't even get full length like briefs and stuff? They have to like put them in little bullet points. Like, you can't even read a whole.
His briefs are no longer than like 200 characters.
Oh my gosh.
They got to be tweet sized, and I don't even know if it's 200. I think it's the original 140.
Oh God.
Like, the nigga can't read.
That's so embarrassing.
Yes. But it leads to my point where Snoop Dogg said he will no longer insult Donald Trump. And he said, quote, "You don't answer to politics with negativity and the same energy that they have because you'll never win." And I agree. And I want a little bit of both. I do want us to give some of that same energy. I want us to speak on the issues, but I want us to realize what we can control as well. So I want the song "Fuck Donald Trump" by YG and Nipsey Hussle, but I also want YG and Nipsey Hussle to be owning their own business and taking control of what they can economically. Because you can't expect anything from the political realm. And I think that was the sentiment that Snoop Dogg echoed when he said he didn't want to insult Donald Trump anymore. Like, okay, this was cool. I got a buzz off this. But at the end of the day, this ain't really the shit I'm fucking with because it's not going to help me. I'm not going to get anywhere by insulting Donald Trump. I'm going to get people putting their eyes on me, but now I got to monetize that and be effective with that.
I feel like it's a really good thing on his end to do that, because even though I know you, like you said, you want it to kind of be a best of both worlds, it's hard to stay positive talking about such a negative like thing or person or anything. Yeah. When you're talking about something that is not going the way you feel like it should go, you are very passionate about that, and it kind of puts you in this place of negativity because you're talking about all this negative stuff. So him saying that he's just going to stop talking bad about him and just do what he can do and kind of use it to show in that different way of just thriving instead of putting all his energy into being negative about something, I feel like it's actually a really good thing. And I don't think it's easy to make that kind of decision because, like you said, you're still angry about it. Mm-hmm. But it's still something that it's better for you in the end. Because, like I said, but feeding into negativity, it's just not the. It's tiring.
It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. Which is why I've made an effort to not discuss Donald Trump on this show. This is actually my first time bringing it up. But I could give two shits about the Donald Trump aspect of it. I cared more so about pointing out what we can control and how we can do all this little shit with the politics, but at the end of the day, you just said it yourself. You don't really get anywhere out of it. You don't get anything out of it.
Mm-hmm.
The only people that get anything out of it are the top niggas putting money in. But that's a conversation for another day. But since we're speaking on politics and such, part of the politics is our criminal justice system. Our criminal justice system includes prisons, jail cells, courts, many of which target not only African Americans in general, but there's always a special place in their heart for putting young black men behind bars. And one of those young black men is a man named Kodak Black. And unfortunately, Kodak Black has, unfortunately, he finally got sentenced. They gave him a year. They said he'll probably only do like 3 to 5 months, get his good behavior and get out. And his dealings with the court reminded me of another young man that was in there by the name of Bobby Shmurda. And if you don't remember who Bobby Shmurda is, Bobby Shmurda had the song Hot Nigga. And if you don't remember the song Hot Nigga, it had the line, about a week ago, fuck with that shit, they be tweak a hoe. Run up on niggas, get to squeeze a hoe. They be getting bullet hoes. And I've really found it interesting, this sort of dance that hip hop ends up having with the prison and the court system and the police. That's inevitable because just the conditions of black people, it's inevitable. It has to come up. It has to be discussed. But I do like the way that I think rappers are being able to make the most of the situations that they're getting put into. Whether it was 20 years ago of Snoop Dogg, like we just spoke about, beating his murder charge and going on to be probably say the most famous rapper, or I'd probably say the most recognizable artist right now of all time. I think out of a crowd anywhere in the world, the first person that get picked out probably would be Snoop Dogg. Beyoncé, very close second.
That's true.
Or Gucci Mane, most recently going in and out of prison, and has come out the other side, chiseled, putting out good music, and again making the most of it. So I really hope to see the same for Kodak Black, where he had a number one. Actually, I don't know if it was number one, but it was definitely top 10 album, not hip hop album, top 10 album on the charts. He put it out and then ended up in prison like 2 weeks later. And it's just kind of sad, and it really hurts me to see this. So when I see by 2019 he'll be out making moves and doing deals, and he's only 20. So he has his whole life ahead of him. And I'm kind of curious, and I want to ask you, do you think that these different rappers within hip hop have handled these situations well? Do you think there's more that they can do? Do you think there's a better way they could capitalize? What do you think?
I'm not sure if I would say like there's a better way that they could capitalize like on their prison or jail time that they have to give. I feel like I don't know if he even wrote the statement that like you had shown me earlier, but I feel like that's the way that they should look at it. It's like even though it's not something everybody wants to do, like go to jail or go to prison, he's looking at it like, you know what, I did what I did, I gotta go do my time, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna get back to it.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's definitely the view that they should have. Like anyone that's gonna be like going to prison or going to jail.
Yeah, absolutely. I always, when I was younger and I was listening to hip hop and I didn't fully understand, I didn't realize that like rappers could put out music when they were still in prison. Like I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that you could write. I didn't know that sometimes you just have music in the vault and you just happen to put it out. And sometimes with the way the technology is now, you can make you can't obviously do like a full engineered project, but if you're a rapper, you can get your music out and have a beat put to it and get music put out from prison. And I don't know what inspires that kind of motivation. I guess I know what inspires that kind of motivation, but that's a lot of drive to have. That's a lot to go through and still put so much emphasis on your craft, even when you're in that position. But it's the same token, that's all you have when you're in that position too. Maybe some family, but that's about it.
Yeah, but it gives them the time that they need. They can just focus on that, and that's everything. And now I feel like it's such a different time. Whereas, like, it used to be jail and prison that was this, like, oh, they're going there, like, they're done now. Whereas, like, now I feel people are more open to, like, just, well, he just has to go do his time and he'll be back. That it's not like the label that he's on or anyone would just drop him. Like, they're still going to listen to what he has to say after.
Well, that's where it gets touchy. He's still going, his label is going to show up to like his court and stuff like that. They show up to him because he's a top 10 artist selling right now. After a certain point, like Bobby Shmurda just got kind of abandoned by his label just because it was just it wasn't worth it. And he had one of the best selling. He had the best selling song all year. And so, what does that do for artist that is lower than that? You don't get that kind of love from them.
No.
So I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but
I just feel it's not like, I don't think it's as bad as it used to be. In the sense that they would just be like dropped, like, oh, we don't know you.
Yeah, perhaps not. But I think that's more related to the influence that people realize hip hop has. And for example, before I move on to the next subject, is probably Meek Mill, and obviously Meek Mill's from Philadelphia, but the Philadelphia Eagles win the Super Bowl and everybody is singing his songs after they win and before the game and everything. Mind you, this isn't like a catchy song. It's like an intro song. So it's literally just rapping like with no hook. So it's just like like just verses, which is amazing. And which is why you end up with shit like being visited by Robert Kraft. And I forget the other owner that went, NFL owner that went and visited him too, but these are billionaires. But Meek Mill, if Meek Mill puts the album out tomorrow, it sells over 100,000 copies. It'll probably sell 50,000 copies first week. So there's a lot of influence there, which I think is how hip hop needs to continue to deal with this issue, is to take the influence that you have and know how to manage that and manipulate that and get yourself pushed forward in a space where you can remain in your own lane, making the music that you want to make, and live in your day-to-day life without a lot of added, I guess, confrontation. I know there tends to be confrontation with outside factors like your old neighborhood and things like that. But you get no breaks. I mean, you get no breaks. Meek Mill really did nothing, and he was given bail for 10 years for something he did when he was 18. So it just lets you know that they're gonna catch you slipping if you step off that line any inch. And I guess that's why I want to stress the importance of being able to manage yourself and manage the influence that you have, especially as a rapper in the most influential genre in the world. But the last thing we'll go ahead and touch on is Chief Keef. Now, I'm just going to use Chief Keef to talk about my favorite rapper right now. Chief Keef out here taking credit for mumble rap. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but he can have the credit for mumble rap. I will gladly give Chief Keef the credit for mumble rap and give J. Cole the credit for killing mumble rap. J. Cole's album, KOD, he released the artwork for it. I'm just going nuts over this artwork. It is phenomenal.
I like the use of colors. It's very appealing to the eye.
The painting on it is it's perfect. I don't want to be disrespectful to say like it's professional, but it's some dope shit. I've never seen anything like it before.
Did he create it?
It could be in a museum. No. I had the name of the person that painted it. So I'll post it on my IG later. But even down to the title of it, KOD, Kill Our Demons, Kids on Drugs, and King Overdose. This is in addition to False Prophets that he put out last year, where he plainly and abundantly made it clear that he was sick and tired of y'all little niggas. Y'all little niggas taking advantage of rap. He said everybody dies. Everybody is going to die this Friday, 4/20. And obviously he's not the only participator in this. I think when Kendrick got the #1 album and dethroned Drake last year as the #1 just artist, period, outselling Drake, I think that was the start. I think that was the start where it's starting to become more and more important for you to put music out where you're saying something. Where you're not only saying something, but we can understand you. Because for the past 5 years, it's been acceptable for you to put a song out and all you say on the song is panda, 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 panda.
You forgot the next line. Panda, panda, panda.
Right. So we accepted this bullshit. We accepted this garbage. Partially because there was nothing better out. Partially because we liked the controversy between Designer and Future. And I remember when we were saying Designer is going to get Future the fuck out of here. That was not true at all. And even Future himself, I can't understand a word fucking Future says. And honestly, on one of his albums, I think it was Evil, I can kind of understand him on the album, and I don't like it. When I can understand him, I like the music less.
Oh gosh.
That is the state we were in, but it's okay. It was okay.
It's not bad. It's all right.
It's a phase.
Yeah.
And I've said it on here before, and I'm going to continually say it because y'all motherfuckers don't listen to me. And I don't mean to call you motherfuckers in a disrespectful way, but I'm just super excited for this. I'm super excited because we're going to witness it. I'm telling you guys now, and then in 3 months later, when some of this bullshit starts to stop, and I can tell you, yes, I told you 3 months ago. And now, me and Amanda, we have our own attachment to Jay-Z, or not Jay-Z, I'm sorry, J. Cole. It's not even related to him killing mumble rap. But I've sort of felt, and this is where y'all can pause it if it feels mushy or whatever, but J. Cole's sort of been, in my personal opinion, like a soundtrack a little bit, I'd say, for like our relationship. Because when we got, I'd say like 2 months in to, I think it was only like a month or two. No, not even a month or two in. Like our first month of actually dating is when J. Cole's For Your Eyes Only came out.
Did it?
Yes. Because the first time we made out, we listened to the album because that was like the weekend or like the week it came out.
How mushy. But that's real cool.
Right. And then even J. Cole's parallels that he's himself drawn with some of the Nas comparison, and Nas is my second favorite rapper of all time. And I love the storytelling. I love the storytelling that J. Cole can do. And then the fact that he can produce his own music just makes me love his music that much more. And there's a certain genuineness that you feel in the music. There's a certain delivery, even aside from lyrical content. Just the way the music sounds, even when you're not listening to it, is nothing like it.
And the way he just carries himself as an artist and as a person, it's just something you want to be a part of, is what I feel.
Yeah. And the only people that are close is Drake and Kendrick, and I'll even be fair and say Big Sean too, that are close to it. So, which is why, again, I don't care about the mumble rap, and I'm happy where hip hop is, because when was the last time that we had 3 megastars on this level? I'd probably say the last time we had 3 megastars on this level was like DMX, Ja Rule, and 50 Cent. And I may be wrong, but I don't know that obviously they have longevity, but I don't know if the quality of their music was as good for as long as these 3 have been, or these 4 have been. I don't think I've ever listened to a 50 Cent album all the way through. I always had to skip tracks. I can't listen to a Ja Rule album all the way through. I can listen to DMX all the way through.
I don't think I could do that.
But 50 Cent's got bigger songs than both of them, and Ja Rule's got big songs too, especially the one with J-Lo. So they're all megastars within their own regard. And watching the way J. Cole walked into his pop-up show and motherfuckers were attacking him, Oh my god, I did not think he was safe, honestly. I was like concerned.
Fans are crazy.
I was watching him, and inside my head I screamed, "Oh my god, don't hurt him."
People are crazy when they're like not in love with an artist, which is also really sad. Or people think that they know them since they take part in like their music and they follow all their social medias. Like fans feel like they know them and they feel that they have the right to try and touch them, which is like crazy how crazy they go.
Well, it does feel like we know them. Like there's a couple J. Cole pages I follow on Instagram, and I was scrolling through and they got a picture of this nigga eating dinner at the dinner table. And I thought to myself, how the fuck do you get that picture? Or there's a picture of him just eating cereal in the morning, nigga. Just a box of cereal next to him, and he's got a plastic bowl of them. I think I've seen a picture of Kendrick the same way. And I think, how do you find this?
They're probably staged though.
No, it was a genuine picture of him eating dinner.
Yeah, but it might have just been like he had somebody come in to take a picture of him. Like people do articles all the time, like different spreads. So it's probably just meant to look like that. It's meant to look like he's just eating dinner.
No, it looked like a friend took a picture of J. Cole and put it on their Instagram. That's what it looked like. It looked like maybe like J. Cole's cousin took a picture of him and just put it on IG.
Yeah, and even though it's like that, it's still we don't know these people personally, even though we feel some type of way about them. It's still we don't know them personally.
Well, J. Cole, if you want to hang out, you want to kick it, let us know. Let us know. I'm happy to take you on a shopping spree.
J. Cole.
Yeah. So
I don't think he needs a shopping spree.
I don't think he needs it either. But I think it would. I don't want to feel thirsty and be like, "Hey, yo, can I get like an autograph? Can I get some free tickets?" Like, nah, nigga. I appreciate the music and what your music has done for me. Let me buy you lunch. That's how.
Offer him some lunch.
That's how I feel about J. Cole. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to discuss hip hop and business, over at Cheesecake Factory. That's it. That's all I want.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the dream.
All right. Well, that's all from us for today. My name is Daniel Tye, D-Tye90, also known as a student of hip hop. And this is
Amanda Ulloa. My handles, though, is at Instagram, strawberries are good, Twitter, berries are good.
And we out. See you tomorrow.